Are you celebrating Christmas?
Yes, I love Christmas.
I'm confused.
What?
How do you like this human holiday full of cheer and merriment, which is the total opposite of you?
Because there's one aspect of Christmas that people seem to overlook these days. Something grim and mysterious and yet wonderful. And when I learned about it, I knew I had to invite my special guest.
Guest? What guest?
Death.
Okay, why is the Grim Reaper here? And who is that?
I am his assistant. I am called the Death of Dreams.
And why are you called that?
I come to a soul long before death, usually around a person's 40th birthday when reality has set in.
Lovely. Pike, what is going on? This is supposed to be a Christmas episode.
And it is. You see, when I was first learning about Christmas and its many traditions, I couldn't help but compare it to some of the winter festivals I grew up with.
Such as?
Within the magical lands of Somnium, in the lower realms of the Goblin City, we sit around the boiling black cauldron of sorrow and despair, updating our enemies list for the new year.
Charming.
That enemies list served me well. After eliminating my way to the top, I became the Royal Vizier, where I was able to observe the winter traditions of the Royal Palace, like the year-end presentations of gifts for the Queen.
Don't you mean gifts from the Queen?
No, the peasantry would line up and present their gift to the Queen. Don't ask what happened if she rejected your gift.
Sometimes I wonder who's worse, goblins or humans. Anyway, I fail to see what any of this has to do with Christmas and death.
Allow me to enlighten you. Millions in the Western world gather around the television every Christmas and watch one of the many productions of A Christmas Carol. Yet few these days have actually read the book Charles Dickens wrote and published in December of 1843, a time in which few really celebrated Christmas. I find it remarkable that what can be argued as the most popular Christmas story, which many would agree is responsible for the creation of the modern Christmas holiday, starts with an opening paragraph like this. Marley was dead to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good upon change for anything he chose to put his hand to. Old Marley was as dead as a doornail.
It is a little weird when you think about it.
Not when you think about death as much as I do.
It may seem strange to us today how the first thing the author wishes to begin a Christmas story with is the death of a miserly old businessman, and yet we soon understand why, as famously, Ebenezer Scrooge is soon visited by his long-dead friend, who informs him of the 3 ghosts who will soon follow. I will not recount the whole tale here, for that is not my purpose. Instead, I wish to educate you on why death and ghosts were as much a part of Christmas as they are a part of Halloween for hundreds of years before Charles Dickens ever put his quill to paper.
I just want everyone to know that I find this guy to be super creepy.
I don't know, I kinda like his voice.
Within the British Isles, ghost stories were often told around the fireplace on Christmas Eve. Indeed, folklore throughout all of Europe held that spirits walked among the living on the darkest nights of the year. This is the very environment Dickens grew up in, so it should come as no surprise that his famous story is filled with ghosts and references to death in general. In Ireland and Scotland, old Gaelic folklore told of fairies and ancestral spirits that roamed the lands during the 12 nights of Christmas. And throughout many countries like Finland, Sweden, and Poland, it has long been traditional to visit graveyards on Christmas Eve, lighting candles on the graves of the dead. In much of Eastern Europe, in places like Ukraine and Belarus, families will often seat a plate at the table on Christmas Eve for deceased relatives.
Shouldn't we be singing Christmas carols or something?
Quiet! You're killing the mood!
In Paris, during the 19th century, Parisian churches held a Christmas Mass for plague victims or the unnamed dead whose bones had been transferred to the sprawling labyrinth of catacombs beneath the streets of the ancient city. There were similar traditions started in Spain, which later spread to Latin America, where a Mass is held for the souls of the dead earlier in the evening before the midnight Mass, and if one ventured inside before the church bells rang, you might see the pews filled with dead relatives, and anyone who saw that might be dead within a year.
How is this a Christmas special? It's the most dreary thing I've ever heard.
I'm loving it!
Many of you watching at this point may be wondering why for so long was death such a recognized part of the Christmas season? Why would a holiday in which is celebrated the birth of a Savior in the Christ child were people so focused on death rather than life? I think it is for the very reason that Scrooge, at the end of A Christmas Carol, is confronted with his own death. He realizes that despite all his accomplishments, he is alone and he will lose all in death. That he was ignoring how truly miserable he had become in his own life, and thus, when you are facing certain death, it is only then that many realize how much they have taken life for granted. It is for this very reason that the medieval church often emphasized the Latin words memento mori. Remember, you will die.
Well, that was surprising. I actually learned something. I think.
I really want to visit a graveyard now. And put up a Christmas tree!